What did you think when you first saw Mike Tyson?
Well, I want to see his birth certificate because he 190 pounds, 12 years old, and all solid.
Yeah.
Really, but yeah,
Just physically, just as a physical specimen.
and
Big guy.
Yeah, and listen, Cuz was right. I was a teacher. He was right, and he was testing me even that day. He said, "What do you think?" So I said, "Well, we ain't gonna know nothing in the bag. Who the frick cares about that? He knocked the bag down. We got to put him in with. We got no one to put him in that weight. I didn't have anyone that weight. We got to test him. Everyone's got to be tested, and so you got to put him in responsibly. But let's put him in, just responsible. But let's put him in with Bobby Stewart, former pro fighter, had 14 pro fights, smaller than Tyson. When he was fighting, he was 175, but still, he's 28 years old. Tyson's 12. Come on, and he'll work with him, right? So we put him in. Tyson, he recognized the moment. He understood this was an audition. This was a chance. This was that TV show, Change Your Life, and he understood that if he passed the audition, he could possibly change his life. He wasn't sure what. How could he be sure what exactly? But it was better than what he had. And so he was on audition. So he innately understood what we would want to see. Ferociousness, toughness, character, desire, and of course ability. Well, we saw the ability, power, speed, but it was unbridled. It was untaught. It was raw. He didn't know really much at all. But we saw that. But he wanted to show more. He knew that wasn't enough. Again, innate intelligence. He had to show desire. He had to show toughness. And so I was being responsible. After 2 rounds, that's enough. Normally, I don't put a guy into boxing until maybe 4 months, 5 months, 6 months, 8 months, 10 months. It depends what it takes to learn on the floor before it's responsible to put him in the ring to actually take on incoming real live shells instead of blanks.
Yeah.
And so normally I wouldn't have him in. And I knew after today, he wouldn't be in the ring again if I trained him. I would teach him first, and then he'd get back in a few months. But for this day, it was the only way. It's kind of like I used to make this analogy, and Cuss loved it. He said, "What's training a fighter? What do you look for training a fighter, Teddy?" He asked me these ridiculous questions just to test me. And I say, it's like going to Macy's. He loved it. I said, it's like going to Macy's window on Christmas. He goes, "What do you mean Macy's window?" Cuz was like, boom, boom, boom. So what do you mean Macy's window? Oh, you go to Macy's window and they got the window with everything you want to see. Yeah. Everything in there. And it looks great. Oh, everything. And then what? Well, then you ask what's in the warehouse and they tell you nothing. Yeah. And Cuz says, "That's it. That's a trainer."
Yeah.
And I wanted to see what was in the warehouse because I saw what was in the Macy's window. I saw the power. I saw the speed. So he goes 2 rounds and he gets a bloody nose. Here's the weird thing. Not weird. Very telling. We knew what we were doing. Not bragging, but we knew what we were doing because he got a bloody nose because he got hit. After that bloody nose, he never got another bloody nose. You know why? He didn't get hit. Because he learned. He was still strong, but he was smarter now. Anyway, he goes 2 rounds, and I'm being responsible because if he goes more, it's not responsible. I saw what I needed to see. I saw speed, I saw power, I saw athleticism, and I didn't believe him. I thought he was lying to me. I'm just telling you. I thought he was lying, trying to act tough when he wasn't really feeling tough. It didn't matter. Cuz questioned me on it afterwards. "What did you see?" And when I said, he goes, "Young master." Again, he wasn't paying me money. So he had to give me something, right? And that was that was currency. Young master. I'm the young master? Whoa. Young master. You know what I mean? I felt like that guy Kung Fu, like in the movie, like Kung Fu. "Grasshopper, when you're ready, when you can take this out of my hand, you can leave." And
that's powerful.
Yeah, it was. It worked. Cuz knew how to work me. And he did. And it worked. And so, but you know what? I didn't mind being worked. I kind of knew I was being shuffled a little bit.
Well, you're making it sound a little bit negative, but it's also extremely positive. That's a teacher instilling wisdom into you that you carried forward and impacted a lot of people.
Yeah, Cuz got the job done, but he did it his way, and he did it for a myriad of reasons. But at the end of the day, it was all good, and I just had to understand that eventually later on. But
and you do the same. You do things your way and carry some of him in you, some of your father in you.
Yeah, that day was funny because when Cuz said, "What did you see, Teddy?" With him, after 2 rounds, I got up in the ring. I knew I was going to train him. Obviously, we weren't going to say no. And he still had about 4 months to serve, and we were going to work it out.
Yeah.
And when I got up on the ring apron, that's my gym. I'm the boss. People later on in life called me a dictator. You know what I said? Yeah, you're right. I didn't deny. People thought, you mean I'm right? Yeah, I'm a dictator. I'm a trainer. I'm the boss.
Yeah.
I'm in charge. If you wouldn't be here if I wasn't.
Yeah.
What the frick you need me for if I'm not freaking in charge? You idiot. Yeah, damn right. Well, what do you think? It's a shared responsibility? No, it's my responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you're here. Yeah, I am in charge.
Mm.
And you shouldn't be here if you don't understand that. So I get up there and I know that I'm going to be training them. I got to show them who the boss is.
Mm-hmm.
I'm being really frank about this. So I get up there and say, that's it, out.
Yeah.
No. This is Tyson. Yeah. No, let me go. I want to do another round. I said, out. Did you hear what I said?
Mm-hmm.
Because I knew that, he was going to test me. He was testing me. Mm-hmm. I said, get out.
Mm-hmm.
He got out.
But were you impressed with the fact that you want to keep going or not?
Yes, and I recognized what it really was. So Cuz asked me, what was that?
Mm-hmm.
Cuz wanted to know what the young master saw. So Cuz said, what was that?
Mm-hmm.
I said, it was an act. He goes, you saw that? Did he really want to go? I said, no. I said, he didn't really want to go, but he knew that we want him to go, and he made himself ready to go in order to satisfy it, and that's just as good. And Cuz said, damn right, it's just as good. All that matters was not how he got there, but that he got there.
Yeah.
That's all that matters. That he got there, that he got to the place to act like a fighter, to do what we want him to do, to be ready to persevere, to go beyond the comfort level, to do another round. Mm-hmm. He didn't want to. Damn right he didn't want to. But he knew we want him to. And he knew in order to pass the test, he had to do it. Mm-hmm. And he said, you're right. He goes, now it's going to be your job to teach him, to make him a fighter that don't get bloody noses, that don't get hit, and will get to that place without being coerced to get there, to get to that place on his own, instead of using the things that he had to use to get to that place today. Those things are not going to be available one day when and listen to this, you talk about a man being prophetic, because it's pretty good. You talk about a man being on the job, on the money, Lex. He says, how do you think he finishes the sentence? He goes, because someday, you're going to have to make sure that he learns these things, because, he'll be your first heavyweight champ. What did you just say? He's 12 years old.
Yeah.
He's been arrested 30 times.
Yeah.
He's getting out of jail, out of, juvenile detention, Tryon. He's a mess in a lot of ways. There's a lot of things we find out later, a lot of problems, weaknesses. So he goes, and that's part of your job. That'll be part of your job. But he really said that. And then he turned to him, he goes, you want to come live with us, young man? You want to be a fighter? Yes. And even that, Cuz said to me later, what do you think about that? I said,
the way he said yes.
The way he said yes. Yes, sir. Yeah. And he said, what do you think about that? And we're talking. I said, he ain't going to be that polite in a little while down the road. Again, he knew that that's what he felt that he needed to project himself as, to present himself as, to get to where he wanted to get to. He goes, yeah.
Did you see what Cus was seeing in terms of the heavyweight champion of the world?
No. Again, the easiest answer would be yes. Teddy Alice, genius. Wow. Teddy's wow. No. But Again, it was my job.
Yeah.
And my job, it was simple, simpler than Cus's. Cus knew too much. I knew nothing. I just knew, rudiments of boxing. I knew what it took to be a fighter and how to execute it, the steps of executing it. So I took those steps. The rest of it, you get blurred by those other things. I wasn't blurred by those other things. It was just get them in the gym, make them mentally stronger, make them face things, and teach them how to slip punches. And create holes and fill those freaking holes with devastating punches. This is a cuss. And what are you going to do? I'm going to teach them to fill holes and fill them with punches with bad intentions.
Yeah.
And that became the moniker.
Yeah.
And then Tyson would say that I'm throwing punches with bad intentions. Yes, you are. And